Well, I've been thinking about what we can do to dismantle some of this substantial tension in your neck and shoulder girdle. You spent about 30 years packing that strength and tension in, and it's not going to dissolve like that. Plus, you've done a whole bunch of other things to help yourself. From yoga to personal training to the TRX. So, you've done a lot, and you've accomplished a lot, and you're in a place where you really need to try something different if you want to get different or more substantial results in terms of really getting some freedom in your neck, shoulders, and out your arms. So that's what I'd like to help you with today. So in order to do that, I'm going to ask you to feel in your body and really live in your body in a different way. Because you're a highly experienced mover, and all these muscles have been trained, or your nervous system has been trained to recruit them in certain ways. So even though you're very efficient and you're highly skilled, your nervous system is in a real rut. And the question is, how do we get out of that rut? And one of the ways we do that is to explore sensation and movement in new ways. So that's what I'm suggesting. So follow along with me. Make sure you're free, to move in a clothing and environment basis, and it's nice and warm, so you don't have to tense up. And I'd suggest that you concentrate on the sensation of your skin on the floor. So obviously there's places where your skin contacts the floor and there's places where it doesn't. But just think about the back of your body, the feeling of your clothing, the feeling of the floor. And let's explore that. Let yourself become curious about the floor and about that sensation. So a long time ago, the floor was a big deal. It was something new. So let yourself go back to that very young time where the sensation of your back on the floor was new. And somewhere in your body awareness will arise an impulse to explore. Let yourself feel whatever's delicious or curious. For me, my right baby finger is drawn toward the floor. So, that proximal phalange is touching the floor. As it contacts the floor, for some reason my head and neck starts turning in that direction. Just a few degrees, and then my head and neck is happy in that position. The skin on the back of my head wants to feel a different contact as my head tucks. And I feel a delicious feeling around the back of my ear, like the skull around the ear. So I'm just letting myself explore that. The rest of my body just responds to this curiosity I have. This curiosity of the skin at the back of my head. And somehow I managed to get over on my left side of it here. And since we're exploring the relationship yourself feel the skin on the back of the floor. And imagine yourself becoming curious about feeling the floor a little further away from your body. So the skin becomes curious as being drawn away from the center of my body, toward where the camera is. My head and neck just do whatever they need to do just in response to that. And that's about as far as I'm going to get toward this this curiosity, unless I do something really completely new, with my body. Let myself really relax in this position. Feel the deliciousness in my head again. And then I pay attention to the skin on my left hand, the hand that's away from the camera, as it becomes curious about the floor. And actually, it's not so curious now, it's just feeling this delicious sense of support. So I let myself enjoy that. I'm stopping to smell the sensory roses of sensation in the back of my hand. My hand's been had a nice drink of sensation and stillness, and now it wants to explore away from the center of my body. So I'm allowing it to do that. Allowing my interest and curiosity to draw my hand away. Now I'm exploring my feet. Now my right foot is becoming very curious. And it's not trying to stretch me, or it's just really kind of curious about the floor. It's curious more around the baby toe, so let my baby toe come toward the floor. And as I do that, that seems to help me find some energy to lengthen along that axis. And because it's about relaxation today, and really not doing any violence to ourselves, but being curious, I've got a curious thing going on where the right foot is curious and lengthens, and then my right shoulder is dropping and curious and thirsty for the floor. So I allow just the weight of my right leg to fall and drag my pelvis over, and the left leg rolls and foot becomes curious. I'm allowing myself to breathe a little bit more deeply than normal. It's fed by this curiosity and feeds energy into the curiosity. So I've got this great diagonal exploration going on. Now it's not so much the foot shoulder, it's foot and hand. My hand become curious. Now the front of my hand wants to touch the floor. So that my hand roll and contact the floor. Merveilleux. My right foot, right hand. Now as the hand draws me and I find my body turning, as best I can, I've got my hand up right now, I just allow my head to be pretty passive, so my head drops there. I'm not going to flip all the way over my front. I'm just going to explore this diagonal thing. Just for a few minutes on my own. And I suggest you do the same thing and find out where your curiosity takes you. Feel the sensation of the floor on your skin. Feel the curiosity drawing your extremities away from the center of you through these diagonals. And then come to rest. So that's the idea, is you allow sensation of your skin to induce movement as you inquire through these diagonals. Once you've done that for a bit, maybe lie on one side, and you just lie on the side sufficiently that you can feel that the hand is almost coming off the floor. Maybe find the amount of weight of arm that is perfect for feeling a nice easeful lengthening in the front of your shoulder. And if that's with like very little tension in the arm, that's great. If it's with something considerable, that's fine too. It's just like a dog or a cat making an itch. Let yourself feel the front of your chest. And ask yourself, what kind of itch might reside there? What kind of need is there? Is it a need like to contract, shorten? Is it a need to expand? Maybe it's a need to contract very slightly, really savor that tension, and then let it go. I don't know. It's your job to find out. For me, what is my inclination? My inclination is to feel the connection to my fingers, through my arm and my torso, right to my sternum. As I pay attention, I feel a stillness. This is just in my body mind. I feel a bit of sadness coming up. And I can feel like decades of strain and effort. The shoulder's like, yeah, man, I'm about effort. But doing. I'm doing two people's bodies as I massage another 1,000 people. I'm doing 4 other people, the people I'm treating, the people I'm supporting. What does my shoulder chest want to do? Mine wants to rest. I ask it what kind of supported rest it would like. And it would like some support from my free hand. So I'm giving something to myself that I've given to thousands of people. I'm just listening, holding, and accepting. The tension as it is in my shoulder. Wow, now it's really thirsty. My body wants to untwist and actually curl. So I curl into. And here I want to rest. I want to do a long dive into rest. So I'm just acknowledging that need in my shoulder. As I do that, my hand curls into my fingers. I want to go to my lips. And it's a little bit of a fetal inclination. So I'm just letting for some reason I feel too much tension to bring my fingers all the way to my lips. But I'm feeling this energetic draw. I'm just allowing myself to feel really young and really small. And what it would be like, just to curl and be contained all to myself. So that's sort of where I'm going, but the thing that supports it right now is just this much curl. And as I get my need met there, my neck relaxes. I can actually have my neck lengthening. My tank's kind of filled up, and my skin on my face is curious about the floor. It feels like I want to rest here for a while. So I hope this has encouraged you to listen to your body and begin to satisfy its need for self-care in a way that is really different and nourishing in a different way than what you have done and what you characteristically do. Let me know how this goes for you.